Hello guys, what's up? It's me, Rahul here, bringing you guys the season finale. Yesterday, last episode was the 10th episode, so thank you guys so much for watching. It actually has been getting a lot of views, so thank you guys. If you saw the Thanksgiving special, thank you so much. This episode is more or less gonna be, well, we're going up against the Montreal Canadiens. And next episode, we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be facing the, Pittsburgh Penguins in the first game. So, I thought we were gonna face Quebec Nordiques, but I already explained that in previous episodes, so I am not going to explain that further. But if you do enjoy this episode, please be sure to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And click on that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Also, one more thing for you guys. You might be thinking to yourselves, Raul, who are you facing? Well, my friends, we're facing the stacked Montreal Canadiens. And for some reason, I don't know if it's Patrick Roy or Jacques Plante. To me, it looks like Plante. Well, Plante had like a different kind of hockey mask. And yeah. And we were just, it's like a battle for the puck, really. And, this roster, let's just put it this. It has a very good roster. A delayed penalty. A 5-on-4. There's like so many legends, like there's so many X factors. Like I think I counted, and there was like 8 or 9. Now I do want to say I might be expanding the exhibition tour because I realized that Westfall scores a goal. Right. So I might be expanding the exhibition tour after the playoffs. So obviously we have the Las Vegas Golden Knights. The Quebec Nordiques are optimistic at this point. Where I'm kind of optimistic about them because they have a stacked squad. The Toronto Maple Leafs historically haven't been good in the playoffs because they keep on like blowing certain leads and 3-1 leads, and yeah, that isn't good. So, and it's a goal. Stefani Quinto scores a goal, even though his jersey is a Montreal Canadian like jersey. I don't know if he was a Montreal Canadian, but as you see, the goal hit the goalie, but the goalie for some reason didn't like try to freeze it. And that's, by the way, the second goal during that time frame. So yeah, a 2-0 lead. So I realized that I didn't face the other alumni teams. You might be thinking to yourself, what other alumni teams? So the other alumni teams that I did not face because I just didn't want to really face them are the Carolina Hurricanes, the Colorado Avalanche, and the Dallas Stars alumni team. Those 3 alumni teams I did not face because in this league, with relocations and everything, I personally did not face them. They were replaced by the Hartford Whalers alumni team. So Hartford Whalers replaced Carolina Hurricanes. Quebec Nordiques replaced the Colorado Avalanche. And the Minnesota North Stars replaced the Dallas Stars. And we scored a goal. Might I add, Willie O'Reilly scores a goal. Might I add to the exhibition? Why I think I will continue the exhibition tour is because of one purpose. I will add the games onto it, so in the NHL realm, in the NHL universe, this universe at least, because we combined two universes and just made one mega. So here's how it's gonna work. I will face the Las Vegas Golden Knights. I will then, if the Quebec Nordiques make it to the second round, and we make it to the second round, when the Nordiques defeat the Maple Leafs and the Bruins defeat the Penguins, if we both face off in the semifinals, then in that scenario, then I would not put the Quebec Nordiques in the exhibition tour. If I don't face them, and for some reason face the Toronto Maple Leafs, I will put the Nordiques in the exhibition tour. Those two games are already done. Then I will put the, how do I put this? Then I will do the Colorado Avalanche, the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Dallas Stars. Well, actually, I'll face the Dallas Stars first, then the Carolina Hurricane, I will face the Colorado Avalanche, then the Dallas Stars, and then the Carolina Hurricanes. Because, like I said before, this is a stacked squad and everything, and yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. What are you doing, guys? See, just passing around. Now, like I said before, when I looked at the roster for, the Montreal Canadiens, they also had, the goalies, since, like, there are two goalies for a reason, like, no goalie could, I did this in my London Monarchs kind of video, no goal, you can only have two goalies because, and if one of your goalies gets injured, they have to get called up or anything. I always, whenever I put whenever I put certain contracts, per se, I always make sure they're two-way because, that's one. So anyway, what I'm trying to get at is, when I looked at the Montreal Canadiens roster, they had Jacques Plante and Patrick Roy. But for some odd reason, I don't know what this is, Patrick Roy was starting over Jacquees. No, not Patrick Roy. I think it's Patrick Roy we're facing right now. I could be completely wrong. It's just the teams. Oh my god, excuse me. This team is stacked. Like, you could have Patrick Roy, you could have Jacquees Plante, and they're wild all over the place. And why? Because of the roster. And yes, Patrick Roy is starting. Patrick Roy versus Danny Shevers or something like that. I don't know who that goalie's name is. I said that goalie's name wrong, I think. This is the best goalie ever. Well, Patrick Roy. Well, oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, that happened. So like, like you can't basically do that. I was surprised that Patrick Roy was starting because Jacquees Plante is like one of those top-notch goalies. Patrick Roy is one, don't get me wrong, it's just he won so many Stanley Cups with the Montreal Canadiens that the fact that in season he was traded to in season and changed history for the Colorado Avalanche. So, might I add, that is the best, like, trade, everything, because, like, we had Tuukka Rask. The Boston Bruins had Tuukka Rask. But that was because of a Toronto Maples trade. So, Toronto drafted Tuukka Rask. Then they traded Tuukka Rask for a backup goalie and some draft picks, I think, in the Boston Bruins side. And it was a made deal. And the Toronto Maple Leafs got so screwed by that. Because we had the best goalie. That the Toronto Maple Leafs didn't take a chance on. So, I will say that is one of the best things I've ever done. I've seen Tuukka Rask is one of my favorite players, but Zdeno Chara is my favorite player. As you see, we're just trying to score goals, but Patrick Roy, my boy, can you let the Montreal Canadiens suck? Because in this universe, they're the fourth wildcard spot. In the new one, they're still the fourth wildcard spot, but guess who they are taking on? The Broad Street Bullies, the Philadelphia Flyers, and we're taking on we're taking on the the Pittsburgh Penguins, not Philadelphia Flyers. Yeah. So, that's the end of the second period. 3-0, no goals scored. So the Montreal, so I respect their history completely. The Montreal Canadiens are the dominant force of the NHL. However, during the original 6 era, they were so dominant that because they were so dominant because of a rule that I don't even know if any of you guys know this, but I was looking at this from the original 6 era rule that there was no player association, which kind of sucked. The owners were like dictators. Then there was a there was a certain rule that players within the metropolitan area of a certain NHL franchise, they could go to, or if they're not in that area, they could just go to a team. That's why the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens managed to pick up so many Stanley Cup wins. And the Boston Bruins and Chicago Blackhawks, Boston Bruins and the New York Rangers hardly had any. The top 3 teams during the original 6 era were the Montreal Canadiens, of course, with their plethora of Stanley Cup runs, streaks, and wins. Then it was the Toronto Maple Leafs, who did a 3-0 comeback against the next dominant team. It was the one and only Detroit Red Wings, who are now kind of in a rebuilding phase, if I might add, because, you know what? Montreal sucks. Now they suck because, and they had that one weird run during the 2021 NHL season because, and I'm going to state this for you guys, they were put in the North Division 56 games. And then delayed penalty, oh my god. It's 2 minutes. It's a interference goal, power play, yay. So, Montreal Canadiens, they were put in the North Division with the other Canadian teams, right? Yes, okay. Here is my point in this, okay? They managed to defeat the teams in that division and the Vegas Golden Knights to make it to the Stanley Cup against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and they lost in 5 games. And it was their first Stanley Cup appearance in the modified season and playoff format since the 1990s. Which sounds like a crazy which doesn't sound like much, but if you look at the 2010s era of the Montreal Canadiens, early 2010s, might I add, they had PK Subban. Bro, you traded him to the Nashville Predators, and they made a Stanley Cup run. But they lost to the Pittsburgh Penguins. So, might I add, if we're going to face the Montreal Canadiens in the Stanley Cup Finals, bro, it's going to be a nightmare. And Helio Richard, I think that's his name. I can't. It's not Maurice Richard. It must have been Helio Richard or H. I'm gonna call him H. Richard because I don't know much about the Montreal Canadiens squad except for like Patrick Roy, Jacques Plante, Maurice Richard because of the Maurice Richard Award. What the heck? Mahovlich scores a goal. You know, I could have looked at that and found out. Oh my god. There was a leaderboard, and I could have found the H. Richard thing, but I don't know if they're, like, to put it lightly, the Montreal Canadiens have so many Hall of Famers. it's not, it's easy, it's tough to count because the thing is about their squad, let's put it that, they were dominant. And I stated something about the original six during that time. But also they were part of the NHA, which also awarded the Stanley Cup. And they had two counterpart teams in the Montreal Wanderers and the Montreal Wanderers and Montreal Maroons. I might do, and I'm not going to confirm this, I might do an expansion franchise team with the Montreal Maroons or the Wanderers. Why? Because they are a key player, they're a key force and everything. And they are an interesting squad, and we score a goal with Prentice. So I know we're gonna win the game for sure. We're gonna clinch the division. We're not gonna tie with the New York Rangers, and we're not gonna face the Quebec Nordiques. Instead, we are gonna clinch the division. And in the next episode, it will just feature the new universe and everything. We're going to face the Pittsburgh Penguins in Game 1. Yeah, because in the Metropolis Division in this universe, what gameplay you're seeing... this is actually part of the new universe, by the way. Some of the old gameplay in the old universe, the Metropolis Division was so weak that the team that clinched it, oh my god... Maurice Richard! Let's go! Oh, well, I have to give props to that dude. He was the best player. One of the best in Montreal Canadiens history and in the NHL in general. So, might I add, we are going full force on Patrick Roy to score some goals. And what I will say, it is, excuse me, that yeah, it will be a very interesting experience. We're going into the final second, the few seconds, as you see, in this game, 4-3, frozen the puck. So many X factors. There's no X factor limit, unlike Madden. Anyway, I want to give it to my goalie, but you know what? And there's an offside warning, which is not a good look. Which, alright, it cancels out the 6-on-5, the extra skater. So, Patrick Roy has to do his thing. But anyways, guys, thank you all. Oh my god. Thank you all so much for watching. Y'all are legends in my book as well as for me. I will see y'all in the next one, and peace.